What's going on YouTube? I hope you guys are having an excellent day today. As always, a fun day today because we're doing an install. Nothing's new, right? It's always something being installed or working on something. Hopefully you checked out the last video that was on the part that would make working on your truck, car, anything a lot easier. And if you haven't, I don't want to spoil that, so you can check it out up here. Today it's raining, so I kind of cleared out the garage a little bit here and made room for the truck to sit here. Last night I went over the mirrors on my live video, explaining them, going over them, and also we unboxed some stuff sitting right here. It was a lot of Adams polish stuff here, and now we have a nice lineup of Adams detailer here. So we're gonna have an issue here where we're running out of room. Do we go up or do we go wider? Because we don't have much more room. We got about 10 inches over there and about the same over here. So I'm kind of thinking start building this thing up and we can put another set of hooks on here. If you do detailing stuff, this is such a lifesaver right here, because anything with a bottle, you just boom, hook it right there. It's the same place every time. Or if I need to throw this in here, I gotta sit, make sure it lines up, slide it in. But this stuff, you just, anything you want, throw it on there. But that is not the point of this video. The point of this video is to get these mirrors on here. So we're gonna get the new tow mirrors on here. We're gonna get them leveled. We're gonna get them wired up. They have lights in here like the 2015 ones. I think the first step to this is going to be backing this thing out and getting it pulled into the garage here so we can start letting it dry off. And this will give you a good idea what it's like to start this thing in the rain, because it's been raining all night. I have that hole drilled in there. So this will explain exactly why you need that and why stacks don't have to be messy. They actually can be pretty clean as long as you put that little hole in the bottom of the exhaust. So as you saw, no water flying out like the nightmares you see and all that stuff. Right there is a tiny little hole. You can see all the soot that's been dripping out of it. You can see it all there. It's just been draining right out of that little, I think it's a 1/4-inch hole is what I use for that. I've never had an issue with rain flying all over the cabs, soot going everywhere. The mirrors themselves are sitting right under here just waiting for us. So I'll show you guys that. Now here we are, these beautiful things here, all painted, all smooth, 100% killer paint job. This right here is what we're gonna mess with first. This is gonna be how to level it, and then this cap I had him keep off because I didn't want to have to deal with pulling this off while everything's all painted and fragile. So let's pull these out of here and kind of go over what all was done to them. So right here is who the mirrors are done by. Legends Off-Road Performance. You can check them out on Instagram at Legends Off-Road. So here's the setup. This was originally all textured like the mirrors come on all the GM trucks up around here and everything. So had the base sanded, smooth, painted, all the arms sanded, smooth, and painted. Had these caps right here that usually come chrome on the bottom and the top. Those were just obviously smooth, so all I had to do was go ahead and paint those. But the paint on that is absolutely killer. I mean, it is pretty much like glass. There's little strips behind here, and I could really either had them white or orange, but I chose with orange because I wanted to stick with the theme of everything else. The cab lights are orange, the marker lights are orange. It just kind of made sense to do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wire these up. We have these two wires right here. That's just the positive and negative run into the strip behind here. And then he also painted this right here so you could only see like a little tiny bit like the like my 2015 mirrors are. And then he took that to the very edge to match the distance between that right there and that distance right there. So the strip might only go to here, but when they're off, they look a lot better with that going to the very edge. Originally, the way I wanted this to work was I wanted these to come on with the marker lights. If you put your headlights on, these come on, they glow orange back behind here. And then when you put the turn signal, I was gonna have them flash. But what I didn't realize was I need a relay to do that. Boost Auto Parts is the place who sells that relay. It's about $50, not bad at all. It's just kind of a way to use this same wire to do two things, and you can't really do that with just one wire at all. So you need that relay in there and a little wiring kit to be able to tell it when you're getting a turn signal and when you're getting a signal just for the light to come on. So unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna do that. If I wanted to, I can always pull them apart. You just got to turn it over here, and then you just pop the glass out, and then you just wire in your turn signal as the signal wire, so it's kind of all contained. So if I wanted to, all I'd have to do is pull this apart and kind of rewire behind the glass and all that. As far as wiring goes, these two are going to be factory right here. Those two are just going to plug in where they would from the factory. This one is going to be for the reverse lighting right here. Usually this is a cargo light on the newer ones. I'm going to go ahead and wire these in to be a reverse light. The first step of this is going to be to get the old mirror off, and then we're going to level them first before we even start getting into wiring. Got the lighting here. You deserve to be able to see what's going on, right? Get the high dollar tripod sitting here. So now that this is all out of the way, we have everything unplugged, we're going to take the 310mm bolts off of here so we can release the mirror. Now when doing the top bolt here, you got to make sure you're holding the mirror and supporting it. Now when it comes to leveling these, there's going to be 4 bolts that hold this base on. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to want to loosen these a little bit, a few threads, maybe like 6 or 7 turns, the bottom ones. And then the top ones you're going to have to take out the whole way. I already took mine the whole way out. And then you're going to need a washer. One of these is great. Really depends mirror to mirror, truck to truck. Your left mirror might need more than your right mirror, so on and so forth. For me, I'm just going to try one so far because this is a pretty thick washer that I'm using here. So you can see where I slid this washer right back, and give you the best view possible here, right back into there. You can see the washer sitting in there. That's just behind this plate, the bracket, and the actual base to the mirror itself. There's a little better shot. You can see the washer right here, bracket, base. So it goes base, washer, bracket. And then you're going to tighten that up and do the same on the back side here. Now the one issue you're going to run into when doing this is this cap isn't going to want to fit because everything is kind of tilted down a little bit. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to shave these ribs a little bit here. This first one and then the second one right back here, 1 and 2. So that way you can actually put this on the whole way. And then when taking this off, the hook is in the front, the clip is in the back. So it's going to hinge up front. So you're going to want to tuck this in and then slide the back in. You don't want to do that vice versa. So front first, clip on the back, and when taking it off, unclip it from the back, hinge it from the front. So I'm going to take care of that. Also, another thing I'm going to do is I want to be able to take these mirrors off, obviously. I don't want to hardwire these straight in, just run a wire right to the fuse box itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the wires somewhere around like right about that length, and then I'll come by with one of these plugs I had, and then I'm just going to put that right on here, so that way I'll be able to unplug the mirrors just like I would unplug them if I was doing something like this. So to get these completely level here, I had to use 3 washers total up top. You can see I ran some tape around there just so they stay when you're trying to tuck them back in behind there. So overall, very happy with that. And then on the inside of this thing, you can see I pretty much shaved that top one down completely smooth, and then a little bit of the top here so I didn't run into any issues. Trim the top one just a hair, or trim the bottom one just a little bit. Top one's completely gone as well as up top. So to put you up to speed, the wiring here, this is the 2 black and red wires that used to come straight out. Loomed it, ran it through there, and gave it a nice little waterproof end there. This, on the other hand, is where, this is where the positive and negative came from the reverse light. I ran my own little harness here as well as some loom on there and taped it all up nice and tidy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all the grounds that I need. So I'm going to take the ground off of this, and I'm going to take the ground off of the strip right here, and I'm just going to do a self-tapping screw right here. I'm going to run it right into the door panel out of the way right here, so that way I don't have 4 wires running through the cab here, 2 positives, one for the reverse light and one for the strip on the outside running up over that way. That'll just save me from having extra wires running through here, and it'll just kind of be a mess. Every time I forget to put the shrink wrap on first, because as soon as you solder it shut, you can't get your shrink wrap around there. So there you see everything is grounded now, nice and clean. Wire loom, you don't see wires going everywhere. The wires are now protected as well. So the next step is to get these wires headed out that way. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how exactly to get these boots off. A lot of people struggle with them pretty hardcore, so I figured we'll go over just kind of how to get them out the easiest way. The very top and the very bottom of this are clips. So what you wanna do is you wanna rotate it towards you till you can see this little notch right here sticking out. And then you can get right behind there, push directly in, pry out. You gotta get right, and you'll hear that clip. See it right there. That's the piece that you're gonna be struggling with. Same with on the inside here, rotate it towards you so you can see the clip where the little rubber notch is there. Come in, push out, and it pops right out. Now the next struggle is getting the wires through here. What I found works best is if you take a long screwdriver like this thing's probably good, almost 12 inches long. Take the wire, put it on the end there, take little electrical tape, just a couple inches of it, and then wrap the wire around the electrical tape a little bit, a few times. And then come in through the bottom of the boot there, just kind of wiggle your screwdriver up and through here. It's going to be tough because there's some wires already in there. You don't want to push too hard and kind of puncture them, but enough to get the screwdriver up and through. So there's my screwdriver. I'm going to go ahead and pull the wire off there and then hold on to it, pull the screwdriver back and through, and then you just have to take a little bit of tape off of there. And that saves you so much time. I've literally heard of people taking like 10 minutes, 15 minutes to try and feed that wire through there, which I could see it'd be very frustrating to try and get that through there if you didn't have a way to push it through, because there's really no way. It keeps grabbing on every rib. So that's a little secret there to save yourself a good 10-15 minutes. Okay, finally said and done here, guys. Everything is wrapped up. All the wires are run from this mirror. I went underneath the carpet, back to the center console there, back to there, and then I tapped into the other set of wires from the other mirror right here underneath the footwell, and then ran just the 2 wires for the mirror positive reverse and mirror positive of the marker light up front. Ran those up into the fuse box there. I'll show you what fuses I use in case you were wondering. Take a look at this real quick. That is one sharp setup there. I'm very happy with that. So into the fuse box here. So for the marker lights, I wanted them to come on with the parking lights, as they call them. So I used trailer park, which is 15A right here, which is the blue one. Put a light on that so you can see. So that's the one on the left right there with the blue coming out of it, the 15. And then the other one that I used was the trailer BU, which is trailer backup right here, the 10A fuse. So on the bottom right is the reverse lights, and on the top left is the marker lights. Ran those down nice and clean to the fuse box there, out through there, ran some wire loom down it, back into the firewall with the grommet that I used earlier for, if you can see it, back right back in there. I already had it for the high idle switch. GM kind of gives you a little spot there to drill into. Before I get the final reveal here and shut the hood and show you what it all looks like, let's go ahead and get the passenger side all fixed up, the door panel all back together. Got pieces laying everywhere, trim and all kinds of stuff, so let's get that taken care of first. No way can I put it back together without vacuuming first. This kills me. Interior is all put back together. Only one thing left to do. Hit the parking lights out here. Close the hood. Look at that. Hold on, we got too much light going on here. I don't think we need this anymore. Now that, I would say, is one mean looking setup right there. You got the amber all around. It kind of matches perfectly. I'm not sure how well this will pick it up, but those strips are absolutely just from in person, it looks amazing. I don't know if it looks good in video, but you can definitely tell in person it just looks so crisp and clean. Another big advantage over these mirrors here is this bottom mirror. It's more concave, whereas the top is just flat. On the old ones, the bottom is flat too, but on this one it's concave, so it tucks back and in. You can really see farther out this way, as well as farther down and farther up. So you can kind of see almost everything in this mirror because of that concave design, versus on the older style mirrors, it's just completely flat. So let's go ahead. I'll show you all the features. Close this. Put the window down, tint's in the way. So if I go ahead and throw it in reverse, throws on that light back here. So there's park, reverse, park, reverse. And that puts out a decent amount of light right there. You can kind of see the difference. Certainly not as bright as the OEM ones on my like 2015, but definitely better than nothing. And then when we hit the turn signal, we have the flashing there. Power glass as well, up and down, left to right a little bit there. I have to play with that and kind of figure out what works. And then this bottom one, like I was talking about as well, you can adjust that, but it's manual. Man, does that look mean. Look at that thing. That is awesome. I'm very happy how that came out. That is absolutely sick. Definitely gives you that whole mean look to the front end. Mirrors sticking out there. So that pretty much wraps it up for this video. I'm not going to lie, this took a very long time. Longer than I thought. Yeah, you guys can see what time it is right there. Almost about 3 o'clock in the morning right now. Could have done it quicker. Yeah, absolutely, but I wanted to make sure it was done right. I ran into a few issues, had to figure those out. I want to be 100% sure that it is perfect and could not be the slightest bit better. That's kind of the way I am. It's my name's on it. So guys, I really appreciate you watching the video. As always, if you want to do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, take it from red to gray. Shoot me a follow on Instagram. I greatly appreciate that as well. Thanks again guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.